Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another news roundup. This is news roundup number two with your boy GetSelious and your other boy SithScott.
Hello.
This time around, we got much more news, a better format, and and you'll still be watching Super Auto Pets content because you kids love the Super Auto Pets.
I mean, just look at that pretty beaver.
Yeah, look at that pretty good. Everyone loves it. Look at this cute little otter. Otter. But anyway, as we talk about the news this week, we have a lot of things to go over from the big one, the Microsoft purchasing Activision Blizzard news. We have, I believe, a super complete version of the Kingdom Hearts series for the Switch. And Scott, what else is out there this week that happened?
Twitter decided it wanted to allow NFTs now. Apparently, it's pro NFT for some reason. Lego
Yeah,
Star Wars Skywalker Saga got a release date,
that's good. That's good.
and Rainbow Six Extraction released on Game Pass this week.
That's pretty
So I
cool.
guess we'll start with the one that I'm most familiar with, which is the Kingdom Hearts on the cloud.
Wow.
I was big in Kingdom Hearts, always have been. So I already tried the demos with the Switch, and I wasn't too impressed. But that's mainly because of the cloud, not because of the Switch versions they got. I mean, yes, the resolution is going to be lower. Yes, it's going to be a little less quality than a PS4 or PS5 copy, but it's still a game on the Switch. I mean, that's kind of to be expected.
Right. From my understanding of it, from what I saw from screenshots of it, the only mean joke I would obviously say, LOL, you Switch kids deserve the bad games, blah blah blah. No, but all seriousness, I feel like Kingdom Hearts is a game that's been repackaged a bazillion times. I kind of got burnt down from Kingdom Hearts personally because the gap between two to three was insane. The younger people who playing Kingdom Hearts now, you guys enjoyed the game. That's great. But as an older person, slightly older person myself, quotation mark older, that was such a painful wait. Like lordy, my whole life.
What? You didn't want to wait like 14 years
For that
to play
ending,
a sequel?
yeah, for that ending.
Fair.
But
I
honestly,
was always been a big fan, but that's also because I was following it by being the devout Kingdom Hearts fan I was by buying every single hardware that every single game came on.
oh, so you play Dream Drop Distance 365 days. Good lord, you play the second card battle one. Oh lord,
Yep.
they, yeah, I played them too. But I played the double 1 point, like the second 2.5 remix. But yeah, the fact that the series has been bundled now to a bazillion, I say a bazillion times, the Switch getting the bundle makes sense. Lower graphic evolution, I didn't notice it as bad. Yet again, I only saw the trailer via Twitter, so it could be some cleanup. What are your how is it lower enough where it's like it's complete garbage tier, or is it still it's
Oh
still
no, not at all. It's
yeah.
just Switch. It's just switched here. I mean, most Switch games are never gonna be like the same HD quality that you'll get from PS4 or Xbox One. It will always be around like 700p. But honestly, I don't think it was that bad. But that's also remembering that Kingdom Hearts originally was like in a 720p format on the PS2.
That is
So,
correct.
and I don't think it was a high quality 720p. It was like a low quality at most. So it's still a high res upgrade from the PS2 era. But overall, I think it was just they didn't want to put too much work into it. They just basically ported a PC port and lowered a lot of different settings to make it look okay on a Switch screen.
So you got the classic Square Enix setup because Square Enix does have a reputation of doing that. They know what they're doing. This is not a joke, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, they had another big issue with their Final Fantasy VII remake port, but we'll talk about that eventually.
Yeah, that's a 2025 conversation.
Yeah. So that's I guess the big thing in Kingdom Hearts. It's not bad. But let's talk about real garbage now. But Twitter allowing NFT profile pictures and changing them to be hexagon so they're not as easily stolen, apparently.
Yeah, which I'm like, are we defending like the rights of like people who may? It's such a okay. Why are we giving this clearly neo scam pyramid BS like legitimacy? It's just why?
I have no idea. I guess because they think they can make money off of it, but it's not really worth
The
throwing
money.
some stupid digital ownership asset
Yeah,
to
it's not
say that you own something on some library somewhere.
that.
I mean, I can just say I own the name SithScott on every single platform, but hey, that doesn't matter apparently because I don't have the blockchain to back it up.
It's so dumb. I can't even. It's so dumb. I I don't like the business model of it. I think it's a bad idea, but like I don't know. Maybe these crypto bros got a lot of money to do stupid stuff, but that's fine. But don't involve being your stupid stuff, okay? I just want to steal memes and laugh at my retweets on Twitter, okay? Oh, and occasionally give my indie devs a shout out when they make cool stuff.
Hey, that's always a positive.
Yeah,
Indie devs deserve more shoutouts.
yeah, they do. But yeah, I so basically now we'll know if it's NFTVC to Hexagon, as that's pretty much the meme I've been seeing lately.
Yeah, there's actually some scripts going around now where you can actually go into your Twitter and block all people who have NFT profile pictures.
You know what? I'll bite that bullet. I'll take that curse.
But
Oh,
then you don't get the fun of trying to damage their ego by downloading their NFT and saying it's theirs now. You wouldn't download a JPEG, would you?
we download a JPEG. I have. Haven't we already downloaded enough JPEGs in our lives? Like, oh lordy, lordy.
Yeah, my Dragon Ball Z folder's getting pretty hefty.
My Dragon Balls. Yeah, the Budokai Tenkaichi will be complete next year, boys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, away from Twitter, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga got a release date in April, and it actually got a gameplay trailer featuring a little different than its usual kind of formula, with a
It,
little more creativity and also a lot more added to their space battles than the previous Lego Star Wars games.
Interesting. The Lego games has always been fun. My only complaint about them is during my younger years, and I don't mean this as an insult to Lego anyone whatsoever. I felt that there were just too many Lego games. There was a couple of Lego Star Wars. There was like a bazillion Lego Batmans and Lego Harry Potters. Like everything got Lego-fied too much. But those games are really really fun when playing on the PS2.
Yeah, I was a big Lego fan, but I only like playing it with people. I don't think I could ever play by myself.
They are fun to play when you troll other people you troll your friends with.
Yeah, it's fun just to like do random like 1v1s in the middle of like say Wayne Manor for no reason.
Yeah, I would do you to the death, father. Father! Yeah, and the storytelling was really funny with like almost zero, some had zero voice acting. It was really cool.
I kind of like doing it at zero voice acting. They added like voice acting that now from actual professional ones,
Yeah,
which I mean isn't bad, but at the same time, it's just like it was hilarious to see them try to explain a plot without actually saying anything.
yeah, I agree with that 150%. That was the joy. But I think depending on the price point, this game I have definitely hope for it to be fun, it be casual. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, game of the year has to have 1080p graphics and like all the fun stuff. It's definitely gonna be a fun game for kids or of that genre. I might actually pick it up just to remind myself what a Lego game used to be like.
Yeah, I want to pick it up just because it is one of it's actually like the Lego DC Villains game is very high quality in comparison to the other Lego games because they have renew assets and they built up certain things from the ground up, so it looks really good. And it looks like they did the same thing for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I just thought they're just gonna make like three new, like they're gonna pull the full saga release that they did on like the PS3 era, where they just combined like the main two and then just said, okay, we're good. But no, they actually redone like everything here, and it's actually kind of cool.
That's good. That is good to hear, actually. That's good to hear. Does and you said it has a release date. And what's the? Is it like next year or the 2 years from now or this year?
No, it's in 3 months.
Three
It's in
months.
like April 5th
Oh my lord, that
of
is.
this year.
Oh, they're pushing.
Yeah, there was a release of them having some complaints about crunch times,
That
so
is you.
that's no good.
Yeah, that's no good. That I feel like, on a side note, I feel like crunch times. Okay, crunch time has always been in a part of the business. This is facts, right? They've always been around. I think
Yeah.
the thing with crunch time now is that we are much more aware of it. That's a lot of the parts that makes you uncomfortable, that we are so much aware of it, and it's not something that I'm comfortable with, because the idea of it's it is what it is. But I'm uncomfortable with the fact it's a normal part of the business, and there are ways to remove it, such as like giving more downtime, better management of time and schedule. But the problem with that is that because these games must be completed at deadline, and we have investors and all that financial stuff with it, that's what makes it uncomfortable. Like, how can we just make it, like, let's say, again, off topic here, Lego, let's say there was Super Neptunia 9, right? Just top of my head. And this game had a release date of 2024. That's it. They'll release it anytime 2024. Don't Doesn't have to be 2024 June. You know what I'm saying? Don't Let's just have year dates instead of like concrete like month dates, like something like that. Maybe that could help the industry. That's just an idea, but I don't like the idea of stressing developers for these things like this. It doesn't
Oh,
help
not
them.
at all. I'm always going to be on the side of having developers have the most time and energy and effort they can actually provide rather than having to force them to be overboard on everything.
Yeah, and the horrendous idea that makes me super upset is like, well, we could fix it post hatch, that kind of talk. And I don't like that as a conversation piece, because
No.
it's like you're just justifying it's okay to make games quickly, borderline lazily.
Hmm. Alrighty. So, Rainbow Six Extraction released on Game Pass. I was one of the lucky few who actually got to play it as an early release copy.
That's right. I believe you, Carl, and Keith had a chance to stream it on YouTube.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun. I'm not big on Rainbow Six. Apparently, there's a lot of reused things that they had from the older Rainbow Six game, Siege, but they just changed it to go with the aliens that they're doing now.
Hmm.
Extraction is providing some sci-fi to this more grounded reality game. But it
That's what we
still
wanted.
has a lot of stealth mechanics, and it still has a lot of fun gameplay for guns, shooting, and sneaking. I
Have,
do think that it's a little more punishing, though, on players who are not used to it, like me.
right.
Because if you get your health depleted by any amount, you basically have to put that person on the bench once the mission's done, because your health stays until you get enough experience racked up that you can heal them up.
Mm. Have, have you had any experience playing other Rainbow Six games?
I played the very first Rainbow Six. I forgot when that was. Holy crap. I thought it was fun. I liked the little grounded more approach. I think that was what I found more interesting about it was a team grounded approach type game for a shooter, which at the time was kind of like, but don't you want to have the fantasy novel of being able to shoot and kill everything?
That doesn't work. I feel
No, but
Yeah, I feel like that's not the way to go across with it. I mean, it depends what your tastes are. Like, I think at the time, like, Rainbow Six has always had the more realistic shooter aspect, and it's very tactical. Like, I played a lot of Siege with my friends. There's one streamer, they specialize in playing the game a lot. They don't specialize playing the game. I follow them occasionally. Synthetic TV on Twitch. They play a lot of Zero Six with their friends, and there's a lot of tactics and balancing of the game. It's a very, very balanced shooter, Siege. My only complaint with Siege is that it's hard to play, and it's kind of interesting that you bring this up now, that Extraction has a similar issue, so it might gear towards the hardcore, much more divisive gamer crowd.
oh, big time.
Which I think, not to be mean, I think that's not the best decision.
No, I don't think it is either. Especially for like if they want to attract newer players, it's gonna be a very big no.
Right,
Because you're gonna go through like the first two levels and realize that you can't play as the character you just grew attached to because they're on the bench waiting for them to be healed,
right.
and it's gonna be a lot harder because you're not used to it, because it doesn't really, the tutorial's okay, but it doesn't really teach you what you need to know to play the game.
Ah, that seems.
It kind of just shows you the new modes and like the gadgets, and it's like, now go fun, have fun. It's like, okay, but what am I supposed to do now that I have this?
They'd be like, "LOL, win," you know?
Kill the aliens. I mean, extract resources from the aliens, whatever the objective says at the time.
Yeah, yeah, I'm whatever the objective needs me to be.
But that's my only big, I guess, complaint on Rainbow Six Extraction. Otherwise, it's actually really fun. They did a lot of effort in like sound design and making sure that the sounds that you hear are coming from specific locations on the map. So you can actually accurately depict where they're coming from, where you are at, which I thought was really cool. It
That
reminded me a lot of when like I first got introduced to like the 3D audio design when I first booted up my PS5 and played Spider-Man for the first time and was actually able to hear the sounds coming from inside buildings, and it was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
so you played Spider-Man, which is a great game, but you didn't get me any pictures of Spider-Man.
No, I did not get any pictures, but I do have some screenshots
I mean, if you could sell
somewhere.
it on the Daily Bugle, you'll be fine.
Only. Alrighty, so the next one is the biggest news that we have, which I think everyone's probably already talked a lot about, is that Microsoft decided it wanted to just wake up one day and buy the entirety of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, very big power play move for sure.
I just think it's like interesting because it's like no insiders even like thought of this being a reality. And just one day, Xbox just puts on their Twitter, "Hey, we acquired Activision. Bye."
Yeah,
It's just like, okay, but explain what.
we did it. That is it.
And then they do another one like, okay, here's all the details. It's like,
Right,
okay,
right.
that's much more explanatory. Which I mean, for the most, the details is it's not finalized because they still have to go through legal procedures and terms and conditions. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, Activision Blizzard has agreed to be a part of Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. Which helps Activision Blizzard a lot from a standpoint. They have been bleeding. They have not been doing bad, but they've been doing a lot of bad faith. The whole, Blizzard sex scandal thing. Sex. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
screw Bobby.
Bobby Cottage. I can go. I'll save it for a bit later. Talk about old Bobby Cottage. And I say cottage. I know it's Kotick, but come on, he's a broken house. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like from the standpoint that we are in, that this is a big gamer deal move, that Microsoft now owns a larger percentage of the gaming sphere, but I'm also kind of don't care that much about it because if we're going to be frankly polite and honest about it, right? So it seems like Microsoft is trying to emulate or copy the strategy of another big tycoon company doing this lately known as Disney. Disney has been purchasing several other bigger companies outside of Marvel. They purchased several animation studios like Blue Sky. They also purchased several other commissioned or has special partnerships with many European art house and art animation studios. The thing is, when Disney's doing this, they seem to have this one thing that Microsoft doesn't have, like a brand recognition. In a sense of when you look at Disney, you think of quality. Even like their most not good movies or TV shows you enjoy, let's say like Internals, it's not a great Marvel movie. The quality is still very high. You can so when I look at Microsoft, what does Microsoft look like? We're rich. We got Bill Gates, former Bill Gates money. I don't like them owning things doesn't make me have more confidence. It's like that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but at the same time, I don't think Activision Blizzard was doing too much with their brands that much anyway.
Oh no, no, they weren't. They were doing whatever they do. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't doing good.
It was pretty much COD. They put most of their creative industries into COD,
Yeah,
and
they
it kind of messed all their other IPs up.
pretty much. The worst part about it too is that like at the time I tweeted at a not the greatest right there. I tweeted and shout out to Kyle for the Outerhaven. I was right. You owe me some money. Just letting you know that right now. So basically, so what happened was is that they at the time admitted they were going to keep Bobby Kotick. Bobby, I was upset by this because there is no reason to keep Bobby around outside him being a general scumbag. And there's no other reason to. So I don't care that he gets his money, blah blah blah. It's just that what value does he have? And Kyle was like, "Well, it's good," and he says skepticism. Like, what is skepticism? I'll actually like try to explain like my thinking process of this for a bit. So, as somebody in my real life, I work within the corporate accounting fields. I do work in several fields of this, and I'm just going to bring some of this, at least how mergers and acquisitions work. So, in mergers and acquisitions, there is a time period where where you essentially break apart what happens, right? You, like, how to put it? I guess I'm going to put it very nice, like, trying to put it in a very easy way. So, in mergers acquisitions, there's usually they have firings and hirings within like the purchase and sale timeframe and the conclusion of the sale of mergers acquisitions, meaning that when you see a lot of firings or hirings for a company's big acquisition, they're cleaning their house out to get new people in. And I was surprised that Bobby wasn't fired immediately. He was fired later on. My defense why they should have got rid of Bobby, because Bobby is he's a bad person in positions of power. And even if you keep him there, but if you keep people who are in bad positions of power, bad things, and people will keep talking about those bad things if you follow suit. Even if you don't remove them from the position of power, people just know they're still around, which makes you feel unease. The best way to describe it is like you forgot the stove. You forgot the water is boiling on the stove. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anybody, but the fact you forgot causes a problem because you could burn down, the house. Or, that annoying whistling kettle when you're cooking tea can be really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to get rid of Bobby because he's mainly the reason why Activision Blizzard is tanking right now, or well, I guess wasn't tanking, but it's starting to lose its public image more or less.
Exactly. No, exactly. It was really, really bad. And the part that in my mind that made it worse is like Bobby kind of dug his own grave in a way of outside because he keep promising high sales and high number of returns, right? And the only way he can keep those numbers high was if he, bended the truth a bit. So he promised, let's say, an extra 70% increase in sales. A game or project flops or takes too long, right? What does he do to keep the money up? Well, he could cut his own salary, or he could borrow more. No, he go for the scumbag option with three: fire people. When you fire people, there's less money out of payroll. There's more money in the top, and he kept doing that practice over and over and over again. It's not a good thing
Yeah,
to do. It's
I mean, he
actually
wasn't the best CEO or
no, he was
really a
not.
good one.
No, no, he
People just
was
had faith in him because of he had higher friends in good places.
he had higher friends and he was willing to cut he legitimately cut the finger to save the hand. He literally cut off other people's hands to save his hand.
Yeah. So we're kind of running out of time, but I just want to say I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing with this acquisition because yes, we're getting rid of Bobby, but now we're turning the gaming industry into a bidding war at this point.
More or less, but that's always been kind of I think the way it's going to be because at least the future we're moving in. Is it going to be monopolistic? I don't think so, but
Nah.
it really depends who has the power to buy and what they buy. A lot of people freaking out that like Crash Bandicoot's gonna be exclusive or this or that. Here's the thing, right? Any Activision Blizzard project that's been announced or worked on before the merger acquisition most likely will go through the same deal. The same way when when Bethesda was purchased by Microsoft, Deathloop still came out on multiple platforms. So that's going to be
Yeah.
fine for now. I don't think Microsoft wants to be. They trying to put this new spin on their face of a goodwill. We were for PC, blah blah. I don't think they're going to be solitary, forcing people to buy their things. I think what Microsoft is trying to do is win on both ends of the spectrum. They're trying to be hardware and software and services, well, three sided. I think that's okay, But again, I've never been impressed by the Microsoft product or brand as the image I did earlier. Disney buys things. Disney's known for quality. So when Disney buys a company, people get excited about it. When Microsoft buys things, that's good. But what is Microsoft known for? Like Microsoft's known for, you know? And that's the question
Windows.
people got to start thinking: who buys what, you know? Like a perfect example is Scott. I'm assuming you're a Nintendo fan.
Yes.
Okay, if Nintendo openly bought out Way Forward, you would probably be the happiest person on earth.
I'd probably be somewhere there.
Yeah, well, not happiest, but super happy. Way Forward Nintendo has a great open relationship, and Way Forward has produced a lot of games for Nintendo. I mean, obviously, produced game for everybody, produced several games for Nintendo or helped move over. And the fact that both these companies are known for that quality and known for that synergy they have with each other, that's a big feeling that you feel that's a good decision, regardless of whether this behind the scenes is. This is a please Nintendo don't please Nintendo do not buy Way Forward. I want my River City Girls too. Um, but seriously, but now you see why I feel so blasé. Like I see Nintendo, I see Microsoft purchasing Activision. I understand the implications, but I don't feel anything because what is Microsoft known for? And that's the thing we got to think about. Like, it's the play that's good, but does it really kind of it shift the dynamics, but doesn't have an impact because it's depending what you're doing over there. Like earlier in the news cycle, we talked about, please everybody, support Kingdom Hearts, buy it for the Switch. I look, it's gonna be fun for you people on the Switch. You guys always complain about RPGs, and I got RPGs. Okay, that's a big deal. There's tons of Square Enix fans that cross pollinate with Nintendo fans.
Yeah, I'm
See,
one of them.
exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Trust me. Xenoblade Chronicles is a good game. Anyway, but honestly, that's the thought process. Hope you guys understand. Like, let's think about the impact and how does it affect their brand. What is the Microsoft brand known for? I can't think of anything that's actually super duper positive. So, I'm excited to see what happens to Microsoft owning Blizzard. Maybe they'll be hands off. I don't know. I don't know if they can put World of Warcraft on Xbox. I think World of Warcraft is kind of past its prime in my opinion. But I
It's
do,
been past its prime for a while.
yeah. But I do want to see what happens to Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is the only Blizzard game I'm looking forward to anyway.
I mean, yeah, but that's also because Overwatch 2 is just going to be Overwatch again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with that little end note, that should probably be the end because I'm not playing any more games. So because that takes forever to queue up and play again. So anyway, this is GetSelious and SithScott signing out for News Roundup number 2. Thank you guys for listening and to our, I guess, rambles and news conversations. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and follow us on our various social medias. We'll see you in the next News Roundup and enjoy your day, time, evening. Enjoy your life, everyone.
See ya.